Hi everyone, I'm immigration attorney John Khosravi. Thank you for joining us today. It's April 21st, 2021, and we're doing our regular Q&A session talking about U.S. immigration. Every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, I come live on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn to take your questions about U.S. immigration because it's a confusing process. To give general ideas, it's not independent, individual legal advice. We'd have to have a private consultation for that. But I'm here to give you an idea of what's going on, and it's a hot mess, I can tell you that much. But, talking about private consultations, I started doing a raffle. If you're watching this live show and you leave a comment, say you want a consultation, my assistant who's looking will pick 1 to 3 people randomly for a free 15-minute video consultation with me. So just post that there in comments for those watching the live show and leaving that in the comment. And then we'll choose some people and I'll give you instructions on what to do after that, to email me with the screenshot to show that that is your count. And then from there we can schedule the free consultation to see what's going on with your case, and hopefully I could give you some help on that. So we're about to get started in a second. The questions are going to start trickling in. What is going on with U.S. immigration? Well, the reality is, and we got our first question actually, what about immigration reform? There's nothing going on. So the reality is President Biden sounded like he was going to do a lot of stuff. He came in with a lot of rhetoric, but so far nothing. And honestly, I'm not too optimistic that anything is going to happen, really major. You talk about this reform, all that kind of stuff, but it's probably not going to happen. What we're seeing is the border issues are taking up a lot of attention. Somewhat the travel bans are lifted, but not really, because the embassies are still not really opening and processing. So people are still stuck outside, even though some of the travel bans are gone. The only positive thing that's happened so far is the public charge rule version that President Trump brought in. That got pulled back, but the rest is still there, not looking good. And by not looking good, I mean there's huge delays. And if you're gonna get your green card, but it's taking an extra year or two, that delay itself is really harsh. It's like not getting, it's like being denied for a while. So that part's kind of nasty. Sherman asked, hello John, I went for my green card interview. The officer said everything is okay, but I should bring IRS tax transcripts and they have to review my case. What does it mean, please? Well, Sherman, I need to know more information. The IRS tax transcripts are the official copy or confirmation that the IRS gives to show that they got your tax case and it's in their system. More and more the Immigration Department is requesting those as opposed to the regular tax returns copies that we send, because people can make up tax returns. But the tax transcripts come from the IRS, so they're more official. So they want to see that. I don't know exactly why they want it in your case, because it could be because they're trying to see what's going on in the affidavit of support. It could be for the joint documents. It could be potentially for your citizenship case. You say my green card interview. So I gotta know what it means, why they would ask for taxes. They usually don't ask for that, so that's why it makes me suspicious, and it's something I have to dive in deeper to see what's going on that's being asked. But if you could get your IRS tax transcripts for free online. Most of the time, the website for the IRS gives it to you for free, but it doesn't always work, and it has a lot of hoops you have to jump through to be able to register to get it. But it's good to always, and anyone's watching this, if you're gonna do an immigration case, always better to have your tax transcripts when they ask for tax returns. It's more official, and it's only 4 or 5 pages. Sometimes you send your tax return, it could be 200 or 300 pages. There's a lot of paper print for no reason. Tax transfer is much more simpler, but if you do file your tax transcripts, try to add the W-2s associated with that income just to back you up. But it's getting more complicated. To schedule a private consultation to get more out of that. Sugar asks, hello John, are green card applicants still required to disclose their social media and email use for the past 5 years? Well, this is a requirement that started for people applying for a green card through the embassy, not in the United States. So Form DS-260 has questions added where it asks for your emails used for the last 5 years, phone numbers used for the last 5 years. Then it has a drop-down menu of around 20 different social media sites where it says if you've used these, please mark those, give the names. And then there's another option where it says if there are other social media apps that are not listed in that drop-down menu, Form DS-260, and you want to tell the government what it is, listed there. So yeah, they are going to ask about social media, email use for the past 5 years. That's going to come up on the Form DS-260 if you're getting an immigrant visa. You're doing a green card case through the embassy, consular processing. But if you're in the United States doing adjustment of status, they have not yet asked for this question about social media. I mean, they do ask for your email and phone number, just the current ones so they can contact you if needed, but not historical ones. Shadane asked, my sister overstayed with the visitor visa and her mom petitioned for her in her country. Can she do a 601A or wait for President Biden? Well, waiting for a politician, I'm not sure when that's going to happen. If your sister overstayed and your mom filed for her, she potentially can do a 601A. A 601A is a waiver for that overstay. And if you have a parent or a parent or a spouse that's a green card holder or citizen, potentially you can file for that waiver, that forgiveness. But one thing I would want to review is how did your mom get a green card, but your sister didn't? Because sometimes if you had like an uncle or a grandparent that filed for your mom, and your sister might have been on that case, she could avoid having to do the waiver, just stay in the United States under a rule called 245I. So I got to see what's going on exactly in that case, but 601A may be possible, but it's not an easy open and shut case. There's a hardship requirement, extreme hardship, all this kind of stuff. You should talk with an attorney in private to check out their 601 case. Haji asks, I'm a K1 visa holder, a fiancé visa holder. I've done my medical examination in my country right now. I am in USA planning for adjustment status. Do I need another medical here? No, you don't. When you do it depends. So when you do a fiancé visa, you have to do a medical checkup with the embassy before they'll issue the visa. But I believe the vaccines are not mandatory. So if you didn't do the vaccines, you do need to do that now, bring proof of vaccines. But if you did both the medical and the vaccines to get the fiancé visa, you don't need to do anything now. It's all good. Which actually reminded me, when you, after interview, they'll usually give you a piece of paper from the doctor that lists that you got the medical and the vaccines. It's good to have that in case USCIS asks for that. And I just had a fiancé visa holder get the visa last night in Europe. And so I need to do a reminder to them to get that vaccine record or whatever medical record that they have, so they can bring that to the US and give it to me. So when we file for adjustment of status, the green card application, they won't be forced to do another medical because they don't need to. And vaccines. I did only one shot of IPV in my country and I have the records I needed sent with I-485. There's a series of shots that have to be taken. If you didn't need to take the other vaccine shots as part of your medical for a K1, then it'll be listed on that sheet that they gave you, and that would make it okay. So we gotta see what's on that sheet. Ethereal says he's a good lawyer. Definitely listen to him and take his tips. Well, thank you, Ethereal. Thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate it. Just doing my best here. I love talking about immigration law. I have a podcast. I have a magazine. If you're interested in learning more about immigration law, go to immigrationlawyerstoolbox.com/magazine. I have a trade journal I publish. It's for immigration lawyers, but there's a lot of information on different types of immigration cases if you're interested, and check it out. It's a lot of fun for me to talk about this stuff. Peace for All says, a friend of mine asked me that she has a child but lied the USCIS when she gets married. Now she is divorced and wants to apply for her child. Would that be a problem? She's a green card holder. Well, Peace for All, it's hard to say. There's always a chance the USCIS could say, hey, if you had told us you had a child, we may have not proved your case because, for whatever reason. But in some opinions, it may not be material. So the key is, will the officer that reviews that case think that by the lack of evidence or not talking about the child, was it material to getting the green card in the first place for the spouse or not? And if it was, then it's going to hurt the case and you need to apply for a waiver or all this kind of stuff. And it creates other problems potentially. But if they don't. So it's not 100%. There's just a lot of things we have to talk about in a case that whether you want to pull the trigger on that or not. It could be no problem, but it's really going to depend on the officer dealing with the case. If USCIS officer finds that lying about having a child in the previous petition is immaterial, is important, what will be the ground of deportation for the green card holder? It could be fraud or misrepresentation. It could be you lying before an immigration officer in the past. So you got your green card by fraud because you didn't tell him all that's going on. Ivy Mary asked, my husband didn't file the 2018 taxes, but he made enough money and I'm applying for adjustment of status. Am I supposed to file now? Well, on the adjustment of status application, they're going to ask for affidavit support to list the last 3 years worth of tax returns. So they're going to want 2018 inevitably because they want that. So if it's not listed there, there's a question about not filing taxes and why that was. So technically, Ivy, just for tax purposes, I can't guide you in any other way. If your husband made money, he has to file taxes. And if he doesn't list that on his affidavit support, potentially it could create a problem in your case. So the answer is, yeah, he has to go back and file that, and it is what it is. Can I give the wage and income tax income transcript as evidence for filed taxes since we can't find the W-2s? Thank you. It doesn't make sense. So you need to file the 2018 taxes, so that's that. And if you can't find your most recent W-2s, if you're only, the W-2s are mandatory per se if the income on the tax returns from multiple people in that family. If it's only for one person, it's probably gonna be okay. But if you can't find the W-2, you can request it from the employer, maybe request it from IRS. I just haven't had that issue, so I don't know if the wage and income transcript will be the same, but probably will be, but I don't have an exact issue because I've never had a problem with the client not being able to get a W-2. You'll be just contacting the employer to have them resend it. I think you can probably do that. Carmelo asks, mine is very simple, family-based petition. I applied I-130 online, but they did not acknowledge it. They denied my application because of wrong fees. Do I need to refile the whole application or fees? You know, Haji, there's a lot going on. It seems like a lot of problems. You know, he says a simple petition, but look what happened. It wasn't that simple, apparently. So you should definitely consult with an immigration in private. Please note, I forgot to talk about this. I have a guide, a free guide called the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide. Just go to www.marriageimmigrationlaw.com and download that. It really breaks down. It's the best one out there. You'll really enjoy it, and there's a lot of information to help you in the green card process. I get so busy talking about the free raffle, I forgot about the free guide. So marriageimmigrationlaw.com, down the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide. Carmelo asks, how do I extend the B2 visa for my dad? Any form? Yeah, B2 extension is through form I-539. That's the form that's used to extend immigration status in the United States for certain types of cases, like you know, a tourist visa. Now, if you're going to get a work permit, form I-129 is for that, blah, blah, blah. But specifically, if you're here on a tourist visa and you got to stay a little bit longer, form I-539 is application for extension, a change or extension of status. You have to complete that properly, and that's that. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure helping everyone out today and trying my best to do that. And thank you. Hope you all stay healthy and safe. Well, we're going to wrap it up. And that's 3 consultations popping up today. So thank you everyone for joining. It was a pleasure talking. You know, I've been having consultations all day, so this throat's going to give out. I got to take a break and then start working on people's cases. But you know, I love what I do, and I hope I could help you the same as I help my own clients. But God bless. Be safe, everybody. We'll be back next Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, to take your questions. And, you know, hopefully I'll do some more videos that are non-Q&A videos. I've had, you know, listeners contact me and say, go back to your old videos. We love those too. Hopefully I'll find some time. I publish a magazine for immigration attorneys. It takes a lot of time. It's called the Immigration Lawyer Toolbox magazine. And so that's been keeping me busy. But if you're interested in immigration, all this kind of stuff, check it out. It's a fun magazine. All right, everyone. God bless. Be safe. See y'all soon. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed this educational video. We have a second channel with much more information as well at JQK Immigration Clips. Please check that out. Also, you'll find our social media site has a lot more videos, images, and information about the U.S. immigration process. Please check those out on the various social media websites.